Hello, Patriots. How are we doing? Oh, it is freezing in the northeast of Scotland again. It's over halfway through February, and the snow is still laying. But we plod on, don't we? We keep swashing away because we are doing this for the future of our people in our ancestral homeland. And if you can't find a reason to supercharge your white pilled levels when it's for the future of our people, then I don't know what's going to get you out of bed in the morning. The SNP are still up to all their old tricks. They want to make you believe that because they're giving you all this free stuff, all these benefits, that is just coming out of nowhere, that they're doing this out of the goodness of their own hearts. They're not. All this free stuff that they offer comes out of the taxes from your average working person. So even though it might be free for the people in need, those people who have been grafting away all day, every week of their life, it's them that are seeing their pay bill, how much they're being paid, shrinking. And with the wages lying stagnant, and you've got mints going up to something like £7.10 for a pack of 750 grams. There's no wonder why people are getting so angry. People are losing hope, and that's where they win. And when I say they, remember what I'm always saying. It's good versus evil now. It's not left versus right. Because at the end of the day, there's a load of our people brainwashed into supporting this left-wing ideology. And we're doing this for them just as much as we're doing it for the Patriots that stand with us every single week, do you know? Been a bit of technical difficulty there. You could probably hear the wind's a bit wild at the moment. So it just took the camera and the stand right off its legs. Apart from the SNP just constantly draining our people and making you believe it's for our own good, as well as pretty much merging with the Greens. The policies are no different. They absolutely love net zero, even though it's absolutely destroying our communities. It's destroying so many ways of life. I come from Aberdeen. I saw how the oil crashes affected us from 2014 into 2016. By 2016, over 100,000 jobs had been affected because it wasn't just the oil industry. It was all the industries that are indirectly affected by people not having the money to go and treat themselves to clothes, taking their families out to nice meals, doing things like that, doing these extracurricular activities. People just didn't have the money for it anymore, and they still don't have the money for it. And what's happening? They're just flooding us with third worlders that get grants. This is the thing. You see all these businesses going bust, struggling to make ends meet, having to go into liquidation, having to lay off loads of their staff. Yet we are continuously seeing foreign businesses pop up everywhere. Foreign businesses, a lot of them are high-end restaurants. And in today's society, how are these people managing to thrive in the way that they are? To the point where they open up multiple businesses on these streets, and it doesn't look like anyone's going in and using them. Like this garage that operated for 2 years illegally in Aberdeen. And what did the council do? They asked them to stop. The local authority asked them to stop. And yet they've still been given permission to carry on operations. Why? Because the owner is a Muslim. And what does the establishment love? The establishment love a foreigner. They love that warm, fuzzy feeling they get from suppressing the native population while giving some foreigner back rubbing a golden handshake. Do you know? But I can't rant about the SNP too much because there's something far more important. The rape gang inquiry is still going on, and the stuff that's coming out of that, a lot of it's not new, but see, when you're hearing it from the actual victims rather than someone telling their story for them, it just hits differently. Like, I'll show you this video. This is Rachel Halliwell. Lost her daughter when she was 12 years old. Our 12-year-old daughter was groomed and raped, and because she didn't feel like there was the support there for her, nobody believed her, she was bullied at school about it. This 12-year-old, Samina Halliwell was her name, this 12-year-old girl felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, so she took her own life. But this is Rachel telling this story, so here you go.
I've had MPs who've come here and said you're always going to get a bad police officer, but we are concerned that it's a bit more institutionalised than that. Why do you think the police have reacted the way that they have in your daughter's case?
There's a number of what I think of lazy police work.
It's too difficult for them to...
Can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Because the officer did say to Samina, in front of me and my sister, if you go ahead with this, Samina, I'm going to have to fill in. He named the form and said, this is going to take me half an hour to 1 hour to fill in. And then I'm going to have to fill in this other form, named the form, and said, and that's going to take another 1.5 hours to do.
So you hear Rachel telling you herself there, the police did absolutely nothing to help them. The police are just mutts of the establishment. Like, don't get me wrong, we know that there's going to be a few in there that support our cause. We know that because some of them have made us aware that they believe in what we're doing. It's just they can't voice their opinions because they'll lose their jobs. Oh, branches falling. But it's because people are too afraid of losing their jobs, too afraid of labels, too afraid of what other people think of them, to stand up for these vulnerable, not women, girls, too vulnerable. Like they were too afraid, too much of a coward to do anything about it. That's why we say we are not afraid. We will not back down and we will not stop until we enact remigration, because we are doing this for every single one of those girls who was let down, every single one of those girls who had their whole life of innocence ahead of them, and it was taken away by foreign dangers, forced onto our people, and we did not ask. We were never asked. And look at what the SNP is doing to Scotland. Back to the SNP again, but look at Glasgow. Glasgow is now the asylum seeker capital of Britain, and Britain's the asylum seeker capital of Europe. What is Glasgow also at the moment? Glasgow is currently going through an absolutely abhorrent spike in rape crime statistics. Do you think that maybe those two are maybe interlinked? Do you know what I mean? Import the third world en masse, you're going to get third world problems like rapey foreigners. Do you know? And what's our establishment's what's our establishment's frame of mind? Oh, let's keep importing them because we need foreigners to grow our economy. Our nation is not an economic zone. If we need foreigners to help our economy grow, then we have no right to exist as it is. But this is the thing, our people were not on the edge of going bust or going extinct before we started having the third world forced on us. Do you know, we did not need immigration while our ancestors fought, bled and died for us to have a chance at a future. Do you know, this is what every time when you study and you see a war or a battle that our people fought, whether they were allied with somebody, whether they fought against somebody, whether we were just clans, or whether it was after 1707 when we formed a union and then conquered over a quarter of the world, you know? We are stronger together is what I'm trying to say. And all our establishment want to do is break us down, make us weak, and make us reliant on the state, you know? The best thing you can do is get out in nature. Get out in nature, get fit, get healthy, because the thing is, dangers are coming. It is only going to get worse before it gets better. And that's why I'm so white-pilled over seeing what Restore's doing for the online sphere. And even on the streets as well a bit, it's giving people that morale. Because usually, what does it take to bring loads of nationalist groups together? it takes a tragedy, usually the rape of a young girl, the murder of a woman, a man being butchered in the streets while he just tried to walk his dog. Do you know, these are the things that usually bring us together. So when you've got somebody like Restore that's got Rupert Lowe and even Elon Musk, you know, when you've got that money behind them and it's causing this influx of positive energy, I think we should all be able to thrive off that. Like, there's going to be some people that say, oh, but what if they don't achieve anything? They've already achieved something monumental. They've managed to put a buzz back into nationalism in Britain. Do you know, I'm not going to leave the Homeland Party because I believe in what we're doing at the Homeland Party. And when you think of it, the Homeland Party is meant to counteract the Greens, do you know? So if we can push things a little bit harder than what Restore is going to be able to make Restore's life a little bit easier, then that's what nationalism's about us looking out for our people in our homeland and doing what needs to be done, doing what's necessary and not letting our personal feelings get in the way of that. Because for too long, people's personal feelings, usually fear, usually them being anxious about what others think of them, has caused us to get to where we are today. That's why I say the age of tolerance is over. We're in generation remigration now. All this talk of integration, all this talk of only a few bad apples, mate, look at the grooming gangs, all these communities new. And that's another thing. Nigel Farage saying, oh, that it's Rupert Lowe wanting to deport entire communities. Well, it was the final straw, for him to be like, no, you have to leave Reform. Well, entire communities knew what was going on. Entire communities stayed quiet and allowed the grooming and rape on an industrial scale of the white British girls that fell victim to the grooming gangs. Do you know, entire communities knew about that. Look at the Hare Hill riots right before Axel Rudikabana. That was a whole community took to the street, torched the bus and that. Do you know? And also look at what their consequences were. Took how some of them that have faced consequences. Look how long it took because they were too focused on wasting the taxpayers' money, putting people through these speedy trials for hearty words, saying stupid things, caught up in the moment. But never black pill, because there is so much positivity in the world at the moment. You know, like, don't get me wrong, things are not great. But like I'm saying, when you've got so many people riding on a high, then I think we should support our people through that, you know, because if one of us succeed, we all succeed. If one of us fails, we all fail. This is our struggle, our people's struggle. Don't feel uncomfortable in being that little bit tribal. Do you know, we are going to have to work together. A council of nationalists is what it's going to take. You're going to have that one big party that's going to be able to enact our policies, remigration, safeguarding of women and children. And then you're going to have the smaller groups that are going to be there for moving the Overton window. So I am excited for the journey ahead. And things are moving faster than I thought they were going to. Do you know, even though things have been making a lot of pace, we've been making a lot of ground over the past 18 months to 2 years. The past couple of months, things are moving at the sort of pace that the Zoomers want. So we just have to keep on keeping on, troops. That's all we can do. We've got to stay positive and not let this constant barrage of negativity get us down. Do you know? It's the positive ones that are going to help us through this. It's the positive ones, these people that come out every single week, no matter the weather, they want to come down and support whoever is going to get rid of these foreigners that are being housed in these hotels. Do you know, in Aberdeen, we have multiple hotels and HMOs, B&Bs, things like this being used to house these people. It's costing over £1 million a week. That's £1 million a week that could go to our people. £1 million a week for fixing our potholes. £1 million a week for the mental health crisis, to give the people the support that they need. the money and resources that are needed to help bring down these drug deaths in Scotland. Like, I know that they're saying that we have lower, like our drug deaths have lowered for men that are around my age, but we're still the highest drug deaths in Europe. And all the SNP wants to do is make it legal. And so does Zach Polanski. But Zach Polanski was quite based in the way he did it. He wants to make crack and heroin legal so that blacks can have a good time, because he's saying that drug crime statistics are racist. Well, maybe if the gangs that are running fero in London weren't made up of generations of the Windrush wave, maybe they wouldn't be needing these legalized drugs like crack and heroin. But go and enjoy your day today, folks. I will be back in my wee room with my flags tomorrow. I just want to get out in nature on my birthday, and because I've been grafting, I've not really had a chance to sit down and record anything, especially with everything that's going on. It would be too easy for me to sit down every day and pump out another video of all the stuff that's coming out from the grooming gangs and the rape inquiry. And I do want there to be a bit of positive energy in these videos. So I'm going to go and train in the freezing cold out in the countryside where it's absolutely stunning, because I love our people. I love our nation. And it's out of love for our people, out of love for our nation, and out of love for the future generations of our beautiful homeland that we do this. We do not do this out of hate. If we did this out of hate, we'd have burned out a long time ago. It's out of the love and the hope for a better tomorrow for our people that we do this. So do not stop. We will not stop until remigration. Believe me. And that's why I hope that every day, I hope that you are finding a reason to smile, because how they beat us is by breaking our spirit. And that spirit that beats in us is the spirit of Scotland. We've had this handed down to us by our ancestors. It is our responsibility to hand her over to the future generations in a better condition than how we were given her. And right now, we are failing our ancestors in that. So that's why we have to pick it up. And that's why remigration is going to be incredible. Go on, let's do this. Thank you. Enjoy your day.